there, and welcome to Our Voices. Nigeria's Yemi Alade became the first African female artist to reach 1 million followers on YouTube. You may have been one of the 105 million people who watched her music video. Her rise is emblematic of a growing listenership across the globe to music produced by Africans. But she's not alone. Africa's artists are creating new sounds, and the world is taking notice. South Africa's Zoe Madiga's smooth jazz will calm you down, while Ghanaian singer-songwriter Efia will make you get up and dance. Welcome to Our Voices. I'm Oriani Tangishaka, along with my colleague Ayan Bior. Social media producer Tetenda Gumbo is in for Haiti Adams Fitzpatrick. And we are pleased to have with us David Vandy. David is the host of VOA's African Beat, the radio show that showcases the latest contemporary African music. David, we're so happy to have you with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome to the table.
Welcome, David. Thank you.
African beats are spreading worldwide due largely to a growing African diaspora around the globe. But it's not just Africans that are dancing to the rhythm. VOA's Jesusemen Oni reports the international rise of Afrobeats is causing a stir in the African industry and influencing culture and markets in the West.
Pop beats from Africa are reaching airwaves and set lists as far away as Washington, D.C.
My favorite song on there, that's the Follow You. Yeah.
Known as Afropop or Afrobeats, the music genre, once limited to African circles, has gained traction in the West.
It's been really great seeing artists that a lot of us know in Africa make it on New York radio or DC radio or a radio station in Iowa. And people actually gravitating towards it.
Afrobeats got a big boost in recent years from songs that feature transatlantic collaborations with American chart toppers like Chris Brown, Drake, and Rick Ross. But those artists shouldn't get all the credit for sparking interest in the music genre, says cultural architect Rissa Kat Okede.
These folks, these artists, have always had their own following. So even if you are Burna Boy or, you know, Yemi Alade or something like that, and you're in Nigeria, there are Nigerians all over the world. So their music is always going to travel with the people.
Working with Billboard artists could mean a shot at global fame, says Cameroonian Afro pop star Salatiel, who recently worked with Beyonce on the Lion King soundtrack.
Singing on the same song with Beyonce and Pharrell Williams, it means many more people are going to look onto Salatiel, the artist, who we see, and how come he's on this album.
While the industry is still largely dominated by men, several female artists are carving out their own lane and challenging social norms and gender inequality along the way. Artists like Tenny.
If you don't have the mentality of success, they will cage you and tell you, no, this is how you should be.
Also making power moves, Tiwa Savage. Already one of the biggest names in African music, Tiwa in May signed a global recording agreement with Universal Music Group.
She can actually sort of reinvent African womanhood in a way that right now it's just not happening.
And as African artists seek to dominate new markets, it's a wake-up call that African countries need to beef up their own music industries.
I think our infrastructure needs to be tighter, like the whole African music industry in general. Like, royalties is not a thing. And I don't know how producers eat.
That means artists are taking their talents elsewhere. Several African acts have signed record deals with big American labels. Nigerian musician Iceberg Slim says that's because the world is craving an authentic taste of Africa.
We have to give them Africa, we have to give them Nigeria, we have to give them our culture. So it's definitely important that we stick to our sounds and stick to our cultures. And that's basically what we're selling them. This whole Afrobeats movement, we're just selling a culture.
And that business is booming, bringing in fans from far beyond Africa's borders. Jesusemen Oni, VOA News, Washington.
So as we just saw, African music and African artists are growing in popularity worldwide. It's normal now to hear Davido on the radio. Wizkid and Drake got together and collaborated on something. But, you know, I'm wondering, because it seems like it's pretty recent that our music has been taking over the world. Why has it taken so long?
Well, I'll tell you, it has taken this time because maybe we're waiting for the right genre, the right beat, and that is why Afrobeat is taking over. You know, it all started with Fela Kuti in the early 70s, you know, when this beat was becoming popular, and he made it his own. And fast forward to present day, Afrobeat is now like the beat of the day all over. It has taken over Africa, from West Africa, Nigeria, where it all emanated, and it has cut across. And even here in the West, it's like, that's the best beat now you can dance to.
I mean, we were in this dressing room earlier and you played a song for me on a streaming service. David, how much do you think that streaming services have helped African artists get their music out to the masses?
Well, you think of it this way. We would say, like, in Africa, we didn't have the big platform wherein our music will be heard like across the world. You know, when it started with the Congolese, yeah, everybody was singing Makossa and dancing to, you know, Ndombolo and others. But with the streaming service now, it has like opened up.
Yeah.
You know, it's an opportunity for African music to be heard all across the world with just the click of a button.
Right, and even just the algorithms, like you were saying, if you listen to one African artist, it will suggest others, and that has allowed me personally to find new people.
Exactly.
And the power about Afrobeats is that it's really transcending across every genre. I mean, it's in pop, it's in jazz, it's in gospel, it's
in everything. And one of the happiest moments for me is the fact that the Afrobeat genre is taking over the world. And that is so paramount.
It's like a sense of pride.
Yes, exactly.
But I'm worried about our artists, our Afrobeat artists. I mean, they are so excited and so pressed about getting their stuff out there and giving it out there that maybe they're not thinking about rights of copy. Are they thinking about it? Are they worried about it?
Girl, rights of copy?
No, but it's a big issue. Copyright infringement.
Yes, it is. It is a big issue. It is a big issue. But the collaboration that is happening right now is making our artists get bigger. You know, even let's take Africa to Africa. What is happening right now? The big stars from like Nigeria, Ghana are moving into the smaller nations, wherein they pick out somebody who is popular in that nation and they collaborate, and bam, that artist goes viral.
I hope they're
just like
paid.
It's happening in the West.
I hope they're getting paid.
They're making some money. That's one I can
But not only the money aspect, but just protecting your own art. Because I always get afraid that our art and our cultures that is expressed through our music will be taken by someone else in the future and not give us credit, either monetarily or even just to say, you know, Afrobeats is a West African thing. I don't want another country or other countries to come and take it from them.
Well, it's already happening. Because everybody is playing Afrobeat right now, it's already happening. But I think it's the excitement that they have. It's the excitement of our African artists that, okay, their music is being heard, it's being played all over the world. So that excitement is making us not even look at that right. But I think it's very important that we look at that and say, okay, this is ours. Let us get the credit for it.
Yes, exactly.
Right. You speak to artists all the time on your show. What do they say when it comes to some of these issues? Like, do they know exactly where to go, who to talk to? How do they get information about their rights or their music or someone stealing their stuff?
Well, in the West here where we live, copyright laws are everywhere, okay? You have to be very careful how you deal with other people's materials.
Right.
But like for Africa, they've started putting copyright laws in place, okay? But how effective those copyright laws are, that is the big question.
That's exactly right.
You know,
implementing the laws.
Implementing the laws.
Implementing the laws, that's the key word. But we also want to get you talking on social media. Catch us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Search for our handle at VOA Our Voices. We've got videos and updates. Be sure to share our pages with your friends.
And also don't forget to use the hashtag VOA Our Voices. We're on WhatsApp too. Send us your messages and videos. Our number is US country code +1 304 506 3638. So reach out to us and add your voice to our discussion.
Yeah, it's being incorporated into a lot of the different mainstream music now. I think one of the songs I heard, it was like, what is it, 2 a.m. or 4 a.m. with Tory Lanez, Davido, Casanova. But that was like my first real exposure to it. That that I actually put it on my own playlist and started listening to it a lot more. So I like the dance aspect of it.
Okay, what about you, Olivia?
I've been listening to Afrobeats all my life. My parents, you know, I grew up thinking I was African myself. So my parents always had on African music. And then when I went to college in Houston, Houston's just an African hub. So I was going to African weddings, Nigerian weddings, Ghanaian weddings, and like dancing, learning all about the culture. So like, I love Afrobeats. It's almost like a part of my my upbringing. So I listen to it all the time.
I first heard Afrobeats like a couple years ago, I would say. Probably like freshman year of college right here. And I'm pretty sure it was Wizkid and Drake. They put out a couple songs together. So it was actually through Drake. I think it was Controller was the first song that was sort of like Afrobeats. And then I've heard a little bit more about Davido. I mean, I knew that Africa was already the origins of a lot of just American music, rock and roll, like the banjo, the blues, country. So I knew that Africa was a diverse place for music already, but I really didn't know that, like the hip hop aspect of it, like the beat of it. Yeah, so I guess that opened up my eyes a little bit to the continent too.
My main experience with African music is Ethiopian music. That's a really big impact in my life because my dad is Ethiopian. Also, I've taken some African classes, so I've heard African beats in that manner. I'm not too familiar like with the names of the artists, but what it has done for me really is been a release. And it's very freeing. Know that I can express the way I like to dance and move without any restraint or any hesitance. So in that way, it's very freeing. And I also love Ethiopian music for the simple fact that they have a very neat shoulder dance. And it's really neat when it comes to like isolation and being really involved. It's more like this. It's that type of thing. So, and they go really fast. You can like mix it with other moves where they take it down to the floor, take it really high. And there's also this tradition where you challenge each other. It can be a man or a woman, and they dance with each other and they challenge each other. And they do it at dinners and different things.
So how can African artists in particular protect their art and their craft and their music in the age of YouTube and SoundCloud? What do you think they can do?
Well, along with the laws that are in place to protect your music and copyrights and different things, I think aside from that, our biggest duty of preserving things is to just give it back to youth and people who can carry on the legacy. Because if you're keeping that, you know, to yourself and not really exchanging it and being given of the information to other people, they can't do anything with it and they can't acquire a sense of pride about it to want to protect it and want to keep it alive in the community. So the biggest thing is giving back and having pride about it.
I'm actually from Memphis, Tennessee. So before I came to DC, I didn't know much about like Afro beats and African music. So when I was able to listen to it, I was able to just kind of get a glimpse of how African people like conduct music and the way they kind of like groove and dance and stuff like that. So it kind of gave me some sort of knowledge about their culture, you know, from a music standpoint.
Well, take a listen to this.
Hey, because of you, I get to goosebumps all over. This feeling got me falling all over.
It's a song called All Over, the hit single by Tiwa Savage. Tiwa signed an exclusive deal with Universal Music Group that will propel her music to be distributed globally. This is one woman we're watching and listening to. David Vandy, host of VOA's African Beat, has a few more. Come back for our Women to Watch segment to see our list. We'll be right back. On Our Voices, we're talking about the news and issues you're talking about.
Sharing stories of development and growth across Africa,
around the world, and in our lives. Topics that inform, empower,
and change the rules.
It's time for Our Voices
with me, Haiti Adams Fitzpatrick,
and Hadiza Kiari,
and Ayan Bior,
and Orion Itangi Shaka.
Join us on Facebook at VOA Our Voices.
It's time for Our Voices. Welcome back. Afrobeat songs are soaring through the charts and challenging the way we perceive music. While this genre appears to be dominated by men, there are numerous female artists in the mix, daring us to chase our dreams and encouraging us to use our voices. We highlight these women in our Women to Watch segment as they push to the forefront of the genre. So, David, we've had these conversations all week long, really, about some of our favorite female artists. Who's on your list?
On my list, I'll say like number 2, I will bring in Tiwa Savage. Tiwa is a singer-songwriter, and whenever she writes a song, it's like she's telling a story. But one of my favorite when it comes to Afrobeat is Yemi Alade. We saw Yemi Alade earlier, and it is not just about singing, but it's about performing your song. And when Yemi takes the stage or in front of the camera, she's a different person.
I remember the first time I heard Johnny, I was in the club hanging out with my friends, and I had to stop and be like, who sings this song?
We all were in the club when that song
came. And when you watch the way the video was put together, it's like, wow, this is a story. And when you start, you don't want to stop because you want to follow each and every move. Yes. And when she dances, oh my goodness, you see some people sing. But to perform their song, they find it very difficult. But not with Yemi Alade. I call her
she shines.
A master. No, she's the master of the stage.
I love it. I love it.
So, David, I know that you have been watching some up-and-coming artists. Who are the rising stars of Afrobeats?
Just to name those who have been there, like Tiwa Savage and Yemi Alade. But there are 2 young ladies. Like in Sierra Leone, there is Rose Sokota. And she has been taking over. She does Afrobeats, R&B, and she is good. But my attention was caught up with the young, now 14-year-old Amani G in Kenya. And she became an overnight sensation. She was doing a cover of Alicia Keys' song, This Girl Is on Fire. And some tourists were passing by and somebody took a phone and just recorded her and put it on Twitter. And Alicia saw it and then retweeted it. And overnight she became a sensation. And right now, she's one of the biggest names in Kenya. She's just 14 years old and she's going to school.
Wow, that's
awesome.
amazing.
Writing down her name.
Writing down her name as well.
Make it through no matter. And it's you.
Well, it's really great when artists can write songs that connect with us, and this includes this next woman to watch. Every woman knows that one guy who just can't get it together and get serious about their relationship. Well, there's a new song by South Sudanese singer-songwriter Nyarach that we can all relate to. Nyarach sings about how annoying it is to not get a call back from a guy you've been talking to. A boring man with no plan, as she puts it. This song might not fix your relationship issues, but it might make you dance. Take a listen. This is Got Locked by Nyarach.
Nice.
So this song is partly in her native language, but in all honesty, you don't have to speak Nuer to know exactly what she's saying.
Right. I mean, the guy's name out.
Exactly.
Where you at?
So that's the guy's name.
Gutlock is the guy's name. The boring man with no plan.
We've had a few of those in our lives.
Right, unfortunately.
Another genre of music that Afrobeat is influencing is gospel music. So a woman artist we are listening to is Sarah Téibo. With her entry into UK's gospel scene in 2015, her debut single, Steal My Joy, was quickly followed by her debut album, Walk With Me, in 2016. Sarah was nominated for a MOBO, Music of Black Origin Award. Take a listen to her song, Blessed.
great you are, how great you are. So glad that you love me, so glad that you care for me, gave your life for me. That's why I say I'm blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. I am so blessed, I'm blessed, highly favored every day, highly favored. I'm blessed. Say,
love that song.
This song will have me breaking it down in church.
You forget where you are. Trying to hold it in the church. And that's the reason why some people in the Christian community worry about the influence of Afrobeat in the gospel arena, stating that it is sensual music that can lure people away from God. And I had a chance to talk to Sarah about it, and this is what she had to say.
I think it's a very interesting question that's being asked. Afrobeat is in itself a genre, just like reggae, soul, calypso, and I think the important thing is the message in the music. I don't think it waters down the gospel as long as you're not singing anything outside of the gospel of Jesus Christ and inspirational messages. So personally, I do not think that Afrobeat being sung with the gospel message is anything but the gospel message. Obviously, with the music videos, you want to have decency, you want to have moderation in outfits and in dressing, but ultimately, to me, it's a genre like any other genre, and you can sing the gospel in any genre. Glory to God.
You know, I appreciate what you had to say. I can see how that can be a controversial topic.
That's exactly right.
Another woman we're also watching is Zimbabwean Afro-pop singer and songwriter Amara Brown. Daughter of the late Zimbabwean musician Andy Brown, she started her career at the tender age of 13, singing background for her father's band. Her unique sound fuses traditional mbira, pop, and Afrobeat. Let's take a look at her song Soto, featuring Nigerian singer Mr. Easy.
Hey, listen, I do not care if your boyfriend is here. Eyes on me. We put our gay face on you here to work, okay?
Listen, I'm gonna take 5 minutes in the restroom. I'll be back.
So basically, she's telling everyone, like, I don't care, you're not going to annoy me, I'm going to be with my boyfriend, enjoy my time with him, and have a good time. So anyways.
That was a great 5 minutes.
We've been talking a lot about music. Now it's time to bring you some right here in studio. After the break, we introduce you to the sweetest tone of Mama Sunshine. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Well, her fans know her as TolumiDE, but we call her Tolu. During the day, she builds graphics here at VOA, but at night, she's a singer-songwriter who's making a name for herself in the music industry. Tolu is a Nigerian-Canadian artist who has a new album out, and she's going to share one of her songs with us. I can't wait to hear it. Welcome to the program, Tolu.
Thank you so much for having me.
So, Tolu, you're no longer an up-and-coming artist. You're established. You have 3 albums out, and you do shows regularly. How hard was it to break into the music industry?
It was certainly tough in the beginning. With me now really taking on music as a second career, I had to really, build my finances up, save a lot, work with the right producers, find the right producers to work with the right musicians. And it's been a steady process, but I've been on the grind doing it, and I have a big heart for music. So I'm grateful for the gift. Mm-hmm. So I just keep pushing along and keep putting out the albums and putting out more content for people to groove to.
So how would you describe your style?
I would say it's a fusion of African soul and Afro pop.
So what's your writing process?
For me, I use my phone a lot. I use any recording device I have, and as soon as I think of something, I record it immediately. I record the vocals, I record the lyrics, and then sometimes I may just have the chorus or whatnot, but I would record something and then go back in and rewrite and think about the theme that I want to talk about on the song. So that's my process. And I also have wonderful musicians that I work with, a wonderful band, and also producers. So they also help with creating the music that goes along with the lyrics.
And you're going to sing a song for us today. What's the name of the song? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's a song from my latest release, which is called Mama Sunshine. It's an acoustic project.
And that's all we have for today. A special thank you to David Vandy, host of The African Beat, for joining us today.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure being here.
It was fun.
And on behalf of the Voice of America and along with my colleagues, thanks for tuning into Our Voices. We're going to leave you with TolumiDE, who will use her voice to spread some sunshine of her own.
Mama sunshine, emu waye to dawa. Mama orun, emu wojo to dawa fun wa o. Orun bo ni ile wa, ẹwà ká lọ́kọrin yo lórí ọ̀la. Mo ní orúgbọ́ nílé wa, ẹwà ká lọ́kọrin yo lórí ọ̀la. La 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 la, la 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 la. Mama sunshine, change.